What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family? You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Erica. Thank you. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica from the Classic Line blog. You see the links are here below. Drop your city and state in the chat. Help your girl out. We have the Land Grab course 2025. Again, remember, whenever you purchase anything from the Classic Line, any of our website, any of our Stripe links, use that same email. It is very simple. If you lose anything, I strongly suggest you go back and check your emails first. You go back and check your spam first. You go back and research your own email first before reaching out to our staff, because 9 times out of 10, it got to you. Okay. Number 2, if you don't see an email us at admin.classicclimtx.com or admin.allroadsbooks.com. If you have not received something, email us there. Don't hit your girl up on Instagram. Don't hit me up on Facebook. Don't hit me up on 50 different emails. Hit me at the actual space where Melissa or Enrique can help you, because they get paid. Let them do their job. Let Enrique them do their job. Okay. The 5-day challenge. Again, I'll be speaking on stage in a couple different places in September. One in Tennessee, one in New York, one in Virginia, and one in North Carolina. We are getting paid to speak, so we are going. Okay. So, but part of why I'm even being paid to speak is that 5-day challenge is because I was able to show them how to grow affiliate marketing to such great lengths right there on that link. Okay. Number 2, the second one, grab your book there. All Roads Lead to Real Estate. As you see in the thing behind me right here, grab your book there, read, educate yourself. Again, this channel, this whole thing we've ever done is always for you to see the data and go, I can go from digital to physical. I can go from digital to real money. I can go from Monopoly to this, right? And so check those out at your own time. When you please, baby. And put a little star on it. Okay. Now let's get into it. There is a law against going into a building yelling fire, and there's no fire. There's a law against pulling the fire alarm. There's laws against you running around screaming, someone's attacking me, and no one's attacking you. It's a law against it. It's even a law against filing fake police reports. Hence, when all these elderly and non-melanin people file fake police reports, you ought to sue them and take them to court, because that's the law. The law says they should be prosecuted for filing a fake police report. So you should be suing them. If you are not suing them, that is a problem. So let's get into it. If you are having a hard time in life, whether it's divorce, whether it's a loss of children, loss of parents, whether it's a loss of a job, loss of friends, whatever it is, you used to be like, man, I'm down. And you'd have a community of people around you say, well, that's okay. It's temporary. Keep it pushing. Or you go to the corner bar and cry at the corner bar for a day or two and then go on about your day. Now you can go on the internet and you can make a whole financial living out of crying about something that is fixable, about your life. Whether that's relationships, whether that's kids, whatever. So you have this internet now of people who are professionally crying. And you come along and you may be having a bad month. You may be having a bad year. You may be going through a divorce. And things aren't going the way you want in life. And you come online and you do what? You find confirmation bias that, Erica, everybody's struggling. Everybody's losing. Everybody's suffering. That's not true. There's 7 billion people on this earth. Everybody is not suffering like you're suffering. Again, we showed 3 million people a year get married, almost 3 million a year. But if you ask these people, nobody's getting married. Nobody. You got 330 million people in this country. 10% of our population every year consistently gets married. Well, not 10%, 1% of the 1.5%. We'll just say it like that. Gets married every year. Every year, like clockwork for the last 30 years. But it's down, it's low. Every year, like clockwork. Like I can literally pull out data, marriage certificates. But they live in separate. I know people that live separate. Again, data, data. Men lie, women lie, data don't lie. The average person refuses to go research or look up data. So it's easy for a preacher to get on the pulpit and say anything. It's easy for a nurse or a doctor to come in your room and lie to you. And as a patient, you're just laying there like, I don't know. Instead of picking up your phone and saying, does that sound right? Let me. There are doctors online getting in trouble telling you when you go to the emergency room, ask question 1 through 4 and see what they say. And now doctors are getting mad. How dare you ask me? Yeah. Yeah, because data don't lie. You can lie to me, but data doesn't. Okay. So I want y'all to let go or just stay out of my space. That's another one, right? Because you're gonna say, Erica, people can't disagree with you. Baby, guess what? There's 30 million YouTube channels. You got a whole family, you got a whole spouse, you got kids, and you come online to disagree with me. No, go disagree with your family. Go disagree with your cousins. Go disagree with the other 30 million Facebook pages and YouTube pages out here. Don't come to me with everybody's leaving Florida. No, baby, that data don't say that. It doesn't. It doesn't support it. Nobody can get insurance. Only 1 in 5 are uninsured in Florida for their homes. That's it. Just 1 in 5. But there's all these uninsured healthcare people in Florida. There's 2 million people in Florida with no health insurance. That's it. 2 million. Just 2 million. Again, all these things you're saying, you should be embarrassed. And some of y'all should be arrested because you keep coming out here telling untruths online. But we don't do that. We don't arrest people anymore. We don't beat them in public. We don't flog them anymore for telling lies. We don't. So people can come out here and do that. So again, when people say it's so hard to build a house, it's the hardest thing ever. In my land grab course today, we posted on showing a whole town where they show you who got permits, how many permits, what type of permits, the value of the permits. Like this is an everyday occurrence. But if you are sitting on the outside looking in, you have nobody in real estate, no realtor, no auntie cousin, no hard money lender, no mortgage person, you're going to go to the internet and let it tell you lies because you're looking for those lies to feel better about your situation. That's essentially what it is. You're looking for confirmation bias. If you're having a hard time with women, you're going to come online and go find a bunch of people saying it's hard to date women. And then you look at their picture. They haven't worked a gym in their life. They haven't brushed their hair, brushed their teeth, put on fresh clothes, wash their clothes, put on a button up. You ask these people, do you have a suit? What do I need a suit for? Okay, there's your answer. Do you have any dress up clothes? I don't have any. Do you have a pair of nice shoes? I don't. What is this amazing person you're waiting to come your way? You're not prepared for it even in the slightest. Right? They were mad at this woman who paid $10,000 online for a dating coach. They're like, for a dating coach, she should get a husband or this or that. No, matchmakers get paid $50,000 to $100,000 or more a year because they make that money. $10,000 is just a barrier for somebody to tell you, sis, I ain't got nothing on right now, but put some lipstick on, put a dress on, be nice, just accept the most dates. Yeah, just go with it. If y'all heard how many calls I would get, people like, I'm 35 and 40. Should I move to this new town? And I always tell them, if you got 2 years in you of going out, seeing people, new groups, new friends, new churches, new associations, new opportunities. Yes. If you don't feel you have 2 years of 5 days a week going out of your house, don't do it. Just be a tourist in your own town that you're in right now. Because that's what people don't want to hear. The truth is you're going to have to work to have the life you want. It ain't always going to be that way. It's not always going to be 5 days a week. You got to go to your house and be active and do stuff. You can get to a flow of relaxation at some point. But a lot of people are trying to start on the opposite spectrum. They're trying to be super relaxed. And then the most opportunities, the most money, the most everything come their way. That's not how life works for anybody. Never. Not in 1,000 years. Not in caveman. Like people will say, why do people want to relax so much? Our caveman bodies, we chill. Oh, a lion's chasing us. Let's run. We chill. Man, we're really hungry. Let's go catch one of these animals. Then we run. Right? It says people's ancestors at some point walked the equivalent from California to New York. Some of y'all don't even want to walk to the mailbox to get the mail. Some of y'all don't even want to walk to the mailbox to get, but yo, back the car out of the driveway, roll it over, stick your arm out, get the mail, and then go to work. That mail been in there multiple days. You just back the car out and just, oh, let me get the mail. Y'all don't even want to walk Costco. Y'all don't even want to walk Food Line. Y'all don't want to walk HEB. I remember talking to this lady. She said HEB is too big. I can't walk in. It's too much. Ma'am, you have a cart. You can lean on the cart. Is that tiresome to walk? You might need to take a break from all of it, eating too. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Okay. So let's get into it. It's 100 people in here. Let's really get into it. All right. So people say, well, Erica, the data you showing for Florida is 2 years old. It's COVID data. No, honey, it's not. That's not how cycles work. That's not how the economy works. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you've not been, you know what I'm saying? And this is why people can't retire. They can't retire because they can't even do the math. They can't do common math. They can't do basic math. They can't understand that when I put up a graph and it'll be 2023, Erica, or 20, it'll say 2023. Erica, it's 2025. We need the latest marriage certificates from 2025. Baby, the year just started. Have you never taken a econ class? Have you ever taken any class to show you how data works? We are not going to have, like, I want you to think, I just want you to use your brain for a second. There's 100 counties in North Carolina alone. I think Ray Gunn told us like 159 counties in Georgia, or some crazy number of counties in Georgia. There's thousands of counties. There's 41,000 zip codes. And you want me to bring you the data from yesterday of this whole year of all the counties and how many people got married. Baby, please go put the straight jacket on now. Go to the mental institution and put the jacket on your body yourself. Because some of y'all, I'm quite concerned. You'll never retire, because if you can't even do the basic math on that, I don't know how you're going to figure out how to retire yourself. I don't know how you're going to figure out how to pay your rent. Really, you're 2 seconds from the short bus. And I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being honest with you. As we review data, it takes us a year to get all 41,000 zip codes to give us their data. Okay. And if you're my digital liberty warriors, we didn't do our Facebook ads class, but we'll do it coming up, our second one. There's 3,000 zip codes out of 41,000 zip codes that have the wealthiest people in America. Only 3,000. So out of 41,000 zip codes in America, there's 3,000 zip codes that have the average person's income is 120,000. They have very low poverty. And this is where you run your Facebook ads. This is where you run your YouTube ads. These 3,000 counties. You don't run them on all 41,000 counties because ain't no money in those counties. It's a lot of poverty in those counties. That's why when people say, all I know is people that are poor and in trailers, you might be right. You might live in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. You could be right. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just letting you know. This is why we are teaching the land grab course, so you can get some motion about yourself, so you can start reaching out to people, so you can start getting some traffic. There's billions of dollars floating around, and you got to stick your hand up in the air and grab it. That's how you do it. You stick your hand up in the air and you grab it. Okay, so I'm trying to keep myself calm. 39 billion in income migration leaving other states comes to Florida. Now, immediately you're going to say, well, Erica, people don't have insurance, and the tornadoes and the hurricanes and the water and the rain. It's a tropical area. Only 1 in 5 people don't have insurance for their house, and only 2 million people don't have health insurance in Florida. Again, you're doing bad. The bottom 50, are doing bad. Everybody's not doing bad. And I really apologize. I really feel sorry that you don't know people who will spend $30 to get their life together with health insurance. I just don't know. That's fine. All right. But let's get into it. Wealthy Americans are flocking to Florida at 4 times the rate of any other state. Florida leaves all 50 states in income migration. $39 billion circulating within 1 year. Miami-Dade, Palm Beach, Collier counties. Florida has nearly 4 times the income migration than Texas. Let's say it again. Florida has nearly 4 times more income migration than Texas. The second rate state holds the goal of becoming the 10th largest economy in the world by 2030. Florida is one of the most desired destinations for Americans to move. They gain more people again since the pandemic. Majority of arrivals are coming from New York, but they have a huge international population in the south of the state. And we're not just talking about Cuba. We're not just talking about Brazil. We're talking about Argentina. We're talking about Uruguay. We're talking about Peru, Ecuador. We're talking about millionaires from other countries, Spain, Europe, moving there. Russia has a little Russia down there. When you talk, review what you're saying. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. That's not what I get on this internet to do. I just simply, when I read the comments and I read people saying stuff on Facebook, I go, oh my God, this is the kid that they had in that special classroom. Now he's out in the wild. That's scary. That's what I think when I'm out here. This is partly too why I get off this internet. I have to get off this internet. I have to get off it. I have to go back out in the real world more, because I will talk to people and I'll say something about something that happened online. They're like, I don't even know who that person is. What are you talking about? This is the dream world. This is dream world. Okay. I really want you to understand, like, this internet where you got these low performers, as Man of Tomorrow says, these people that have no accountability, that they never work a job in their life. They're the uncle that's a crackhead nobody listens to. They come on the internet and you listen to them. Their own family won't listen to them, but you are listening to them. Come on, man. Come on. Let's go there. Let's go there. Right? You're listening to unqualified people tell you about multitude of things. People with track records that actually do this stuff, that actually be in these places, that actually invest. The other day I brought up the land grab course is $97, and I'm bringing it up again. It's $97 because I want my audience to have access. It'll be $497 like May 6th. I bring that up to tell you it's going to go up past that too. The average going rate for land flipping investment at this level is $1,200. But I know we have a huge population of people who don't even know there's billions to be had in real estate. And they're nervous to be like, oh, should I invest in myself? Baby, I'm just telling you, look at this country. And if you're sitting around going, I don't have any money. I can't move around. I can't get, again, I told you I was at the airport in Austin. The line was out the door. It was 5 people in the line for priority. I had priority on my plane ticket. Me and 5 other people that are sitting in first class were in the line. So there's line going out the door, and I see this line that's real short, and I say, is that priority line? I walk to it. I get over there. White lady look at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in priority. Don't talk to me. Keep walking right past her. Get there. TSA agent like, ooh, it's crazy day, right? It's crazy for people who aren't in priority. Yes. It's crazy for people who got to stand in this long line. Yes. Because they ain't paying attention. Because they aren't actively doing what? Putting themselves first. They don't want to spend $30 to upgrade their ticket to priority. Yeah, it's a hard life. Hard knock life. Okay. So let me get finished with some of this stuff on this Florida before I can get through it. Okay. The state of Florida leads all 50 U.S. states in income migration, according to the former Chamber of Commerce 2023 Florida Business and Economic Report. Somebody's going to say, well, this is 2023, Erica. A lot's happened in the past 2 years. It's only been a year and 3 months. We only 3 months. We're literally in the 5th month of this year. Relax. Okay. Last year, yeah, there was hurricanes, there were storms. Guess what? Them people in Florida is still there. People are leaving. No, people who are part-time living there and part-time living somewhere else there. There are people in my mom's neighborhood who have houses. They're not there. They park their car to make it look like they're there. They pay somebody to cut the grass to make it look like they're there, but they spend the other half of the year in a whole nother state. You'll talk to the neighbor. They'll be like, oh yeah, I spend time with my grandkids. I go over here, I go over there. America is one of those countries where you can move around and you can leave your house empty. And if you make it look like somebody's there, you're good. This isn't Russia. This isn't Bulgaria. This isn't Panama, where if you don't come back to your property in a couple years, your neighbors take it over and let their cows eat on your land and build up stuff on your property. This ain't that. So yeah, these people have multiple houses. They have a house in Florida and they have a house somewhere else. They got a $280,000 house in Florida. So what? They got a house in Wisconsin where they see their grandkids, they hang out with their family, and they check on their businesses and they check on their other stuff they got going on. You want to get to that option choice in America. That level of option. That's why when you see these people with these profiles, I do half my year in LA, half my year in New York. Nah, that kid don't have rent in both New York and LA. He has a place he stays at for 6 months in LA and then spends the other 6 months in New York. Or he spends the summers in New York and the rest of the year in LA. He don't do both. He don't. Okay. We're talking about older people. This is Florida. Okay. So let's go ahead. A new residence by Florida equivalent to the hourly, listen to me, the hourly net income influx of 4 million every hour. Think about that. Every hour, $4 million. That's how much people have moved in. 39 billion is the equivalent of $4 million an hour. So when you're sitting here comparing your life, where you got to get up and go to work every day and say, where are these people working? How are these people living? What are they doing? They brought $4 million an hour into Florida. Please wrap your head around the conversation some of y'all are having. It sounds ludicrous. Erica, there ain't no money out here. There ain't no jobs. No, there's no jobs for people who just want to work food service and be a receptionist. Yeah, those are always going to be limited. Those are always going to be low paying. If you want to move to another state and have a dual state kind of living thing going on, you need to have a trade, a skill. You need to have some smarts about you, some sharps about you. Okay, let's keep moving. Florida holds nearly a fourfold increase over Texas, the second ranked, which recorded $10 billion of people coming in. Nevada is the third state with $4.9 billion, followed closely by North Carolina with $4.4 billion and Arizona with $4.2 to round out the top five. Let me say that again. This is the people who are coming with money. Florida had, again, 39 billion influx to the state. Texas had 10 billion influx to the state. Nevada had 4.9 billion. North Carolina had 4.4 billion and Arizona had 4.2. Why is this important? Every day y'all come on and say they're raising the house price. These houses gotta crash, Erica. They gotta crash. Why aren't they crashing? Because $4.4 billion came to North Carolina. It don't have to. And it's not going to. Replacement cost. It's not going to. This is what these doom scroll channels y'all go through are not telling you. This is the math. Okay, let's keep on going down. Florida's population will continually grow and is projected 20 and 30 beyond. The population will increase by 2.9 million residents as they welcome people from states like New York, New Jersey, California, Illinois, and Pennsylvania. Okay, this Florida's 2030 blueprint in its 6-pillar framework ambitiously holds the goal to establish for us the 10th largest economy in the world by the decade. The state currently ranks 16 globally. Again, the math should be overwhelming you. The data, the billions of dollars. You should be saying, instead of crying about Florida, you should be in Florida right now saying, how do I get access to billions of dollars? Is it land? Shit, is it the stock market? Is it me being a property manager? Is it me being a preservation manager? Is it me building homes? Is it me having a handyman service? Is it me being a middleman to millions and having an electrical company, a plumbing company, or something? Is it me recruiting talent to the state to work at my company? What is it I'm gonna do? Okay, because if you scroll down here again, 700,000 people relocated to Florida between 20 and 2021, because that's the COVID data you're talking about. But is it the COVID data? Okay, we've already moved that away. 2.9 million people came, but 700,000 of them came during that 2020, 2021. So are you done with that? Are you done with that piece of conversation? It's COVID data. No, it's not. Okay, let's keep it pushing. 257,000 people. Let me move past that. Texas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina also had some of the biggest migration gains in the county. Again, when you go online, what are the states I'm telling you about? If you're in the land grab course, why do we name these states? Texas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. Because the people are moving. And a person gets there, maybe they get an apartment, they immediately go, these are the cheapest houses I've ever seen. I'm gonna go pick one. And then a year or two later, they go, I can pick a different one. Like, we've been here enough 2-3 years, we can make an assessment of this environment, of this city, of this lower cost of living, find things to do. That's why when you go on Instagram, you see these pages, top 10 things to do in the city, 20 things to do in the city. It's new people that have moved there. They're excited. They have excitement. Okay. Okay, let me finish. Let me go down here. The vast new arrivals from Florida came from New York, with 84,000 leaving the Empire State, bringing around $11 million gross income with them. Think about that. This is just for 2023. We're not talking about 2021, 2022. This is 2023. 84,000 people left New York in a year, y'all. And this is just the people on paper. We're not talking about the cousin Pookies and them who just got in their car and said, we're going to go live in Florida. And now they in Florida and they trying to find a job. They working fast food. They doing whatever. They ain't tell New York they left. They came down here and got a driver's license and kept it pushing. Okay. California and New York are the largest outflow migration in the country. Initially during pandemic, but now other places. Okay. Again, remember that number y'all kept crying. It's all pandemic. It's not. 2020 to 2021, 40,000 Californians moved and 39,000 New Jerseyans moved. Just in that little year, the numbers are talking about 2.9 million people. So you're telling me about COVID. You're telling me about the pandemic. And I'm telling you, that's a small part of the move. The projection, again, when people figure out, oh my God, I'm going to leave and I'm going to go to Dallas. Do you know how long I've been hearing people say they're going to go to Dallas? I've been hearing people say they're going to move to Dallas for 5, 6, 7 years. I've been hearing people say they're going to relocate to North Carolina 5, 6, 7 years. So by the time they finally get themselves together and do it, it's been all these people who already in their head was like, I'm moving. Okay. I'm moving. They just ain't moved yet. Right. Or they've already decided 4 years ago they were moving. They ain't moved. Right. So again, when y'all read this data, y'all go, see, this are pandemic people. No. Trust me. There are people still on their way to Florida and Texas. They still on their way. Okay. So again, this talks about discovering your dream home, finding properties. Again, they got to make their money. I ain't hating on them. Let me keep it pushing. Let me go over to this one. Yes. Here we go. Let's go to this one. This is June 21st, 2024. For those who like the COVID data. Okay, so this is 24. Florida continues to outperform the nation in private sector growth. Best national unemployment figures, 43rd month in a row. Let me say it again, 43rd month in a row. If you ask people, they're going to say, but that's from the COVID. No, that it continues. 43rd month in a row. You can look this up. To view the May 2024 data for a region, got Fort Lauderdale, Jackson, Miami, Orlando, Pensacola, Florida, South Florida, Tampa, West Palm Beach. Okay. Now you can go in here. This is Florida Commerce, floridajobs.org. You can look up right here the economic assistance. Right, you got claims, you got a problem, you got need help. Go right here. Business growth. You're a business. You're trying to recruit candidates. You're trying to find tax credits. You're trying to figure out how to get money off this. Okay, right here. Workplace statistics. You want data. You want local unemployment numbers. You want quarterly census. You want occupational growth. You want employment projections. You want online job tools. You want any of this. Why am I showing you this? What is this important? There are actual jobs in America where you will be on a staff and you will literally go on this website and you will read the stats for days and put together a packet of information to give to your boss and tell your boss, this is the data for the city. This is how this city's round up. This is how it's looking. This is how it's going. What's up, AM1? Man, I gave you a little shout out at the beginning of the show. I said people be wanting a new life, don't want to do new things. Okay. But you know, AM1 though, he running out these streets, he talking to people. Okay. So again, all the data that y'all asked me for, community planning, development services, low-income housing assistance programs, weatherization programs, like they'll come weatherize your house because you broke. They'll help you with low-income energy assistance. They're not gonna put some solar panels on your house, but they're gonna come, caulk the windows. They're gonna come put some extras installation in the roof. Again, grant management guidance. People make a lot of money just sitting on these websites, these government websites, and searching every day. They got community development programs where they're going to give you money to help develop these areas. They got rural community programs. They got neighborhood stabilization programs, Office of Long-Term Resiliency. So again, when I talk to you guys on here about land development, this is just the tip of the iceberg. When I talk about flipping land, it's just the tip of the iceberg. We can go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the information. There are people who are paid to literally go do this all the time. There are people on staffs. Like when I talk about in an ideal world, I'd have a staff of 10 people who are just deep diving the information. And that not only would they research, again, this is the whole point of a researcher, but not only would they research, they'd put the paper together for me to go present to a bank, and they'd have the list of banks I'll go present to. Then I present to those banks, they give me money, and I build, I develop. That's what those bigger companies that you're talking about are doing. They literally have people on staff that this is all they do. They have to research. So you're telling me you don't even want to read basic documents or any data information, and you want to get ahead and have the best women and the best life. Man, get out of here. Come on now. Y'all know that don't sound right. Y'all know in your heart that don't even make good sense. That's not how it works anywhere. Let me go some more. Let me go again. Excuse me, I apologize. Let me click this one for you. This is the Florida Urban Institute. Again, instead of watching some guy give you data that people ain't paying their rent and ain't paying their mortgage, listen, people are not foreclosing on these houses. It takes 3 years. It takes 94 days after, I think, the third leg of paperwork to get you out. So really, you on the third year before and then it's going to take a year on that to get you out. That's why they're always trying to convince those people to just leave the house, because then they can say, oh, they left, they vacant. And they can speed up the process. That's why I can show you article after article of people who've been in their house for 10, 7, 8 years after 2008, and they never left. And they were like, we're going to foreclose on you. And they just kept paying a little bit. That's why that boy went to jail for the debt cures book, because as long as you put in $100, you're paying something to your mortgage company, they couldn't put you out. And that was the trick. And nobody knew that because they didn't read their paperwork. They didn't read all the paperwork they signed when they signed for a house. Okay. So again, this is the Florida budget. This is the Florida budget. They got an American Rescue Plan where Florida received $8 billion in aid and another $6 billion in aid. Why? Because y'all gonna say my roof is toe up. I needed help. Again, 2024. Good gracious, $118 billion. 2023, $119 billion. 2022, $103 billion. 2021, $93 billion. Again, if $39 billion came into your state and your budget is $118 billion, 1/3 of your budget just came into your state. This is why you'll see North Carolina is coming up within 2030 or 29. There's going to be no state tax in North Carolina because they have to figure out a way to be competitive. They have to figure out a way to compete. They have to say, if Florida got $40 billion and people moving their money around and buying property and buying land and doing stuff, we need to also get that game plan going. That's how that works. Oh, honey, definitely. Kevin went to jail because of that book, and he out now, but he definitely went to jail in that book. When that book made $60 million, you can't never tell me infomercials don't work. Infomercials work. Infomercials was the pre-YouTube. You up late, you watching TV, and they selling you stuff, okay? Let me get out of here. Let me see. Again, this is where people complain about 2021. They're saying the COVID data. It's the COVID data. Florida is the blue line, yellow is the South Atlantic, and the black is United States. Police, you see Florida spending more money on police because y'all got Florida man going on down there than most of the United States. Corrections, housing, higher education, they lag in there, but it's okay. Highways and roads, they spend a lot of money. You do the math. All right, so let me get out of there. I have another one. And I like doing the data stuff because y'all love telling me, oh, COVID data. The divorce rates you're reading are from COVID. No, the divorce rates are the lowest they've ever been in the United States society. 3 million people will still get married every year. And y'all gonna keep trying to tell me there's nobody wanting to get married. There's nobody doing that. People are getting divorced. Okay, that's not what the data says, but your favorite influencer, some 60-year-old man who isn't got a job, is telling you that, so you believe it. Cool, okay. Cool, I'll stick with the data. That's much better. Governor Ron DeSantis announces Florida labor surpasses 11 million in January 2025. Tallahassee, Florida. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis said that Florida's labor force exceeds 11 million people. The job growth continued across most industries, including manufacturing, that reached 430,000 jobs. But according to y'all, there's nobody. Why would Trump want factories back here? Nobody. It'll take 20 years to get a factory back in America, Erica, even though the equipment is now new, simpler, smaller, easier. There's a guy in Bastrop, Texas. They built one of those 10 warehouse buildings. They were so mad about the supplement industry taking so long to make their order. They built a supplement manufacturing building in one of those 10 warehouses out in Bastrop. They spent some money now. And they got a nice machine with a little conveyor belt and everything. Now, does it take them, a big gap of 6 hours of cleaning out the machine and getting everything clean in between before they can put the new stuff into it to make more supplements? Yes. But y'all keep acting like to build a manufacturing place is this, it's so astronomical. It's so crazy. It's the hardest thing ever. It'll take $20 million and 10 years to build back manufacturing. Y'all, you really got to stop. It's really embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. They don't spend millions to even build these factories in Mexico. They don't. They don't. Look at Amazon warehouse in Mexico, and it's in between the shanty little town of this part of Mexico and then the nice neighborhood. It's crazy. It's crazy. They can move it in and build it real quick, real cheap. Again, look at these soda factories that they got in the middle of nowhere places. We've done multiple videos on this. They got like 400 people working there. They come in there, they're making soda. They're boxing it up, they're shipping it. Like y'all act like this stuff is so hard. It's so hard. Manufacturing is so complex. Yes, we all want cheap labor. They want cheap labor. They want to go. Again, Apple's moving all this stuff from China to India. Why? Because India out here still walking around barefoot and serving you tacos with their hands. Yeah, we want cheap labor. We get that. End of the day, you just pay the fee. You either pay the fee or you don't. That's it. But again, the data that y'all look for, it's out here. You have information. Military Family Employment Advocacy Program. Military Spice License, we're supposed to be. Talent Pipeline Portal for Aerospace and Defense. That's right. Florida's still out here pew, pew, pew in it, okay? Veterans for Florida. Apprentice Florida. They're trying to make sure they expand apprenticeship programs across the state. Your company is in Florida. You want to make some money? Sign up for these apprenticeship programs, and they're going to send you all kind of young people that you're going to train. Keep it simple, y'all. Stop overcomplicating that stuff. Too easy. Let me go to this one. Let me go to this one. Okay, I got another one. I got stats on stats on stats. Depending on how many stats y'all want. How many do you want? I got them. Because it's just too easy. If you want to lose 20 pounds, go to India and eat the street food and drink the water. You'll be 20 pounds. You want a Kanye West workout plan? Go to India and drink the water. Shit, go to Mexico and get the ice cubes in your water. Be like, oh, my stomach upset. Trust me. That's this whole thing. Y'all like America's not the best in the world. We just okay. Go over there to India, drink that water, and come back and talk to us if you feel better in 2 weeks. Go over there. Go to parts of Asia where they're like, don't drink the water, girl. What you doing? Why you think they love hot tea over there? They're trying to boil some of the germs out the water. But y'all love telling people, I'm going to go overseas because it's better over there. Literally, parts of Sweden, these places have less than 7 million people in their whole country. They got less people in their country than Connecticut got in the state. But you think you know everything because you watch the YouTube video and say that country's great. Man, shut your mouth. Y'all, if you can't make it in America, I really want you to understand that. If you can't make it here, you're going to somebody else's country telling them you're going to try to make it in their country. They looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Something's wrong. Something's loose. The screw's loose up there. How could Texas spend its record $32 billion surplus? That's right. Texas has a $32 billion surplus. It could pay for 12 years of school lunches. It could pay for 7 months of rent. It could pay for $11,000 of travel. What could Texas do with all this money? This is why when people say they come to Texas, they feel like it's a lot of money going on. Because it is. Because it is. Simplest stuff. Honey, you'll have malaria. You'll be 20 pounds down. They think, Zippo ain't got nothing on India water. Go drink that water over there. Go ahead. Tell me about it. Call us back when you call us next week and tell us how you feel. I was using ChatGPT and surprised a lot of this information can be found with this, but people use it for nonsense. So, my problem with ChatGPT is I want to find the article. And again, we can have a whole dialogue on research. I want to go find the article. I want to see who wrote the article. I want to see where they got the data from. I want to see what the state budget is. I want to see what's the city economic plans. Like even in the land grab course, I break down how do you do entitlements. It'll be like 5 people in the office between the county person, the city council member, and somebody else that's gonna sign off on your paperwork. Y'all gotta really be thinking when y'all talk about this stuff, right? When y'all say this stuff, it's embarrassing. Y'all have to understand, like this is simple research. You can start with ChatGPT, and then you can go, okay, well, where did y'all get that information from? Who fed the AI that information? Okay, what city is providing this information? Again, like I told y'all, there's 41,000 zip codes in America. There's only 3,000 zip codes that have people that make over 120,000 a year, and that's the majority of the city. So when y'all argue with this stuff, I'll be like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense." The water in DR had my stomach turning for 3 weeks. Listen, that's why when people say these people over here are skinny, I'm like, you know why? Right? They were talking about India has a low arthritis rate, right? But they have a really high diabetes rate. And that's because India had this massive starvation moment, kind of where basically London, I'm just saying it for sake of argument, Great Britain at the time took all this food from their country and grains and all stuff, and it starved millions of people. And ever since then, everybody genetically after that massive starvation in India have are predisposition to diabetes and other issues. It's very crazy. It's very crazy. And so they have this country where everybody's supposed to be like a percentage of the country is on these vegetarian diets. But what you actually look at their diets, it's high in turmeric, it's high in it's some other spice, cumin spice that's in black seed oil, and some other spice. And these three spices help keep people's arthritis low and some other stuff low. But people don't understand that. That on top of the water, that's why they aren't sick. You know what I'm saying? They can do that because they have a combination of stuff they used to eating and drinking. Atlanta has a $20 million deficit. They announced it the other day. The people will run. That's what I'm telling you. Like, it matters if your city has a surplus of money. Same thing with Houston acting like they was broke. The mayor's like, oh, we can't afford any of this stuff. We're broke. Well, if we're so broke, Houston, guess what you need to do? You need to approve every permit, every building opportunity, every business that wants to open it all up. Go crazy. Let everything open all at once and collect your cash after that. Because then you can harass all the people that's building. You can harass all the businesses that open. You can get more money out of them. It's just that way. Completely agree. I've seen retired veterans talk about how he's going back to the Philippines. He just doesn't have the mental capacity to make it in America, and he's probably has some learning issues. John Smith, I promise you, I meet people all the time. I'm like, something off with them. They're a little slow, and that's okay. Those are countries that don't mind if you're a little slow, you're a little off. You don't have to be the sharpest to make it in some of them places. When we were in Panama, there was several veterans. There was one guy driving a dump truck, and he got out the truck. He's like, "Yeah, I used to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I went to E. Smith High School." And I'm thinking to myself, how are you in your 60s out here driving a dump truck in Panama in the mountains? How did you get here, brother? I want to hear the story. But that's usually what it is in America. They're not unique. They're not special. They're barely scraping by. So why not go over? Why not go? I'm gonna show you why not in a second. I'm gonna show you a clip of why not in a second. Life straw everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, protect yourself. Some of these countries tell you to drink bottled water. I mean, and then I watched a video in India where they were making bottled water with some regular old tap water, and I was like, "See, that's right. That's right here. I can't play with India. They playing too much." No, Pascal. It's literally, if you go research the origins of diabetes in India, it's where they have the massive starvation of millions, and millions of people die. I can't remember what year it was, but you can go look it up. It's a whole thing. The massive starvation where they sent all that food to Great Britain that one time. And they were really treated bad as a colony in that point, but overall India was treated well as a colony. They have that reference point of like, hey, are millions of people starved? Yes, millions are starved in China too, and a couple other places, because of the government at the time. But it shows like health specialists have like studied that's what's causing them to have such high diabetes. It's just like their body never genetically recovered. I mean, even now, if you actually, they're showing research where the kids are inheriting the daddy stress. And I had a couple people that told me like their kids seems real anxious, like they are. And I was like, that's a real thing. They're studying more and more, realize kids are inheriting so many unique things from their parents. That's why it's very important what you eat, drink, and how you're carrying yourself. As AN1 would say, fake bodies, fake food, and all that stuff with your kids. Thank you so much, Dr. Jesse, for sure. I mean, my whole thing is teach people how to fish, teach people how to get into the mix, how to have an opportunity to talk to a lot of these people and get into the phone call mix and like, hey, da 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 da. You'll have an opportunity now to access to more money, more people because it's really just a conversation game. Ate something and I was getting over stomach virus when I gained glad, whatever. I don't know what you're saying here. I'm trying to read again. When I was glad I lost 10 pounds in 10 minutes. Stop it. I can't. ATF and it doesn't math is not math as long as you've been popping. Exactly. They'll figure it out. They'll say, oh, whoopsie, we had about somewhere in the budget. Atlanta raising airport fees 20 million will be the surplus if they manage the budget correctly. The gangs it is, and like there's companies still flushing stuff down the water into it. They need to raise those fees. Oh, you already know. Not rat burgers. I can't with it. They were making that Obama Flint water. I mean, again, like this is actually inaccurate. This is actually the data does not. They have just as many slow people. China's in trouble for putting mentally disabled people in the coal mines. Like this is Vietnam has a high number of cerebral palsy Asian children because of the Vietnam War and the Agent Orange that we poured in the fields. This stuff is not true. That's a myth. That's a myth. In comparison to who? You got to be careful how you say those things. Those are statements that are not proven. Okay, let me show you this. And this I'm gonna show one thing and I'm gonna wrap it up. Let me show this. No, I'm gonna wrap two things and I'm gonna wrap it up. This is the military contractor. And y'all be chasing money, but all money ain't good money. Y'all want to go overseas, and if you ain't got no friends or allies, don't do it. I'd like to thank Donald Trump for releasing this man. Let's go ahead and show it.
U.S. military contractor who lived here in Atlanta before moving to the Middle East is a free man this morning. He is among 10 American detainees who were just released by Kuwait. And good as Lindsay Tuman is at the Fox 5 Live desk with more on the deal that ended his nightmare. Lindsay, good morning.
Elise, what a story. 60-year-old Tony Holden was working in Kuwait for a U.S.-based defense contractor supporting Camp Arifjan U.S. Army base when his family and supporters allege he was, quote, set up by corrupt Kuwaiti police looking to earn bonuses. Holden grew up in Memphis, Tennessee before moving here to Atlanta. He went on to live for 15 years in the Middle East. In November of 2022, two men approached Holden and violently detained him. They were in plain clothes, so Holden thought he was getting kidnapped. He was then reportedly beaten, sometimes in front of his wife and 3-year-old daughter, before being coerced into signing a written confession in Arabic. He was sentenced on a drug possession charge, even though he tested negative in a drug test. Holden also abstains from all drugs and alcohol for various religious reasons. He appealed his case in 2023, but the judge denied it and even increased his sentence by 15 years. Before the deal to release him, Holden had been held for a little more than 900 days. Here's part of his thank you message for President Trump and his administration.
I can't put words in how excited, give all grace and honor to God, but he used instruments, and there have been a lot of people behind the scenes who have done a great work. So I wanted you to be able to hear that directly from me.
Global Reach, a nonprofit that advocated for Holden's release, says this gives him the ability to restart his life. U.S. Secretary Marco Rubio also celebrated his return. And Elise, the Americans released yesterday were not part of a swap, so the U.S. was not asked to give up anything in return. That's the latest here at the Fox 5 Live desk. Back to you, Ron and Elise.
What a wild story. Glad he's back home. Lindsay, thank you.
Now, let me see if I go back. Cut it out. Hold on. Nope, it's tripping. Let me go back. Dang, it's tripping. Okay, listen. Hold on. Let me take it off the screen. All right, let me do it like this. Okay, did it stop? Playing cool. Can y'all see me? Did y'all see that? Okay, listen. So this is what I want to. This is where I want to go. A lot of times, he's 60 years old. Tony Holden is 60-year-old. Grew up in Memphis. Was in Atlanta. He's an HVAC technician. He's been going back and forth all over the Middle East for 15 years. His wife is black, American black. His family is American black. Now, I have no problem with y'all wanting to travel, live overseas. But guess what? When hit the fan, who did he call? 900 days. You're a HVAC trainer, HVAC certified man, and you in jail over in Kuwait for 900 days. Who's your allies? Who's your people? Who's helping you? Thank God Donald Trump got in there because Biden didn't do nothing for you past 900 days, and 10 other Americans. This is what I want you to understand, y'all. I'm not blaming this man. I'm not. He did say he thought they were unpoliced. They were out of uniform. That's common in Egypt. That's common. That's common. Who did he call? America, help! Help, America! Help, America! Please help me, America. Now, see, everybody want to talk bad about America and bump Air America. America went and got Andrew Tate and his brother. They didn't fly home on a commercial plane. They flew home on a specialized military plane. And the same way with Tony and Holden and his family. They got his whole family out of there. They got them other Americans out of there. And so y'all want to go make HVAC money in the Middle East. You want to hop around the Middle East for 15 years getting that contract money. Baby, the same rules still apply. You need to have some type of community. You need to have some type of connections. You need to have some type of lawyer on standby. You need to have some type of reserves. Because trust me, if you're an HVAC in Atlanta, you're making $200,000 a year right now. Depending on if you own your own business, if you're doing a certain level of contracting, you over 200. If you really work, you over 200K. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You go overseas for a contract, he should be up 200, 300K. 15 years contracting overseas with the military, baby, you ought to be up. I'm talking about so up, you got rental properties all over the United States up. You dig what I'm saying? So to be 60 years old, you've been moving around 15 years in Europe and Middle East, and you get caught up like this. I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all understand. At the end of the day, guess what they saw? Brown person, American, don't care. And then you challenge the court. So then to make an example out of you, they gave you 15 more years. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? 15 more years. They gave you some more time. You want to appeal? Here's some more time. He'd have died over there. 60 years old, another 15 years added to his sentence. He'd have died over there. If it wasn't for what? America coming. This whole argument about, oh, America, it's the worst. Like, okay, y'all convince me of that. Because if you're somewhere outside of America and you got your passport, you got your American Express card, they're going to send your body back to America. They're going to call somebody. All right? I had a parent die overseas. Trust me. The embassy called me. Hey, so sorry to tell you this. Hey, we got to call you. There aren't other countries doing that. China ain't coming for you if you hurt in Africa somewhere. Japan gonna come get you. Japan hasn't been known to come get people. But a majority of them countries, they can't come get you. They gonna come get you. When Biden took off from Afghanistan, I think it was Israel, Germany, and one other country sent a plane for their people because they said, y'all got left behind by America? Oh my God. Let's come get y'all. We had Americans having to get on Germany plane that got left behind. We had contractors in Afghanistan had to get on other people's planes to go. That's how fast they left out of there. I just want you to understand there's not many countries. Again, even Mr. Nomad Capitalist self, who gave up his whole American passport and identity, he renounced his citizenship. If his father ran around calling in America, saying, Mr. Nomad Capitalist, my son is somewhere, help, guess what? America will probably go get him. They're going to charge him some money, but they probably go get him. Okay. Come on. LeVar Ball's son, them acting stupid, doing something petty. America came and got him. Hey, Come on in. Yeah, listen. The worst thing he could have did was leave UCLA. He should just stayed there and let them make jokes for 2 years about him stealing glasses. I'm just trying to keep y'all keeping it real. Okay, so please stop falling for the content. Everything's broken in America. Everything's crashing. It's all economically crashed. It's not. It's for you because you may be on the bottom 50%. You could have stayed here in the States, made a ton of money. It is what it is. He want to hop around the Middle East for 15 years and feel like a tourist somewhere. Good luck. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not going to blame him. But in Egypt and many other countries, they don't wear uniforms. They walking around because they trying to catch their people without the durka on the head. Okay, the hibaji. What's his name? Eric, hip hop timer preacher. Yeah, that be singing. You, that guy. Like, do you want it as bad as you can breathe? He was doing like a speech, and the pyramids was behind him, and the foreign police came up and grabbed his shoulder, and he was just like, oh, he was getting ready to do the fight. And they had to say, no, please, please don't. These people are trained to kidnap you off the street. That's how their countries work. I'm not saying the United States isn't either, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to not get the copyright. I'm trying not to get the strike from YouTube if you talk about religious people. But yeah, so they're trained to pull you off the street. Yeah, he was in Egypt. Egypt does it too. Egypt pulls you off the street. Plain uniforms. That's why when y'all be trying to tell me this stuff, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? America gonna come get you. I did say hibachi because I know how this algorithm is. It said I was doing religious something. It said I was talking bad about people's religions. I got a copyright strike. Thank you for the 199 super chat. Okay. But Shaquilla has been forgotten about in Mexico under Biden. Listen, that one black girl that was in Dubai, she was yelling because you can't be a woman yelling at a man in Dubai, and they took her to jail. America came and got her. She gonna do a few more months, but America gonna fly her home. She not gonna get to fly in a regular plane. She gonna fly in an American plane. I don't think y'all understand. Like, people don't even have privilege in it. They're not even utilizing the privilege they have right here in America. They're like, I'm leaving America. It's the worst. It's terrible. Because they can't get the house they want, the neighborhood they want. So they leave in America. Okay, cool. I mean, I hear that stuff and I'd be like, cool. Now, let me show you this last part. I'm going to get out of here. You know, they just do. You know, they out here crying, oh, they got me. They hold me hostage. What you want us to do? Come get me. No, you don't want to be here. Remember? Keep that same energy. All right, this is the last one. And I got to go to the movies with my little nephews. So let me pull this right here. We can go back that way. A lot of times when I'm talking, I'll be talking about this right here, right? Becoming the bank. But let's start here. Because what you're really experiencing and the people in the commentary that you're seeing online that are so upset, that are so, oh, America, oh. Okay, this is where they at. If you are, which I thought I had to open. Shit, where is it at? Okay, here it is. Let me show you this clip first. Sorry, my bad. Let me show you this first.
Somebody leave me a comment on one of my videos yesterday, and this person said that if you can't afford to pay $1,500 a month for an apartment, you are doing something wrong in life. Well, here's the thing about that comment. According to BLS.gov, over 30 million, in fact, 30.2 million Americans earn less than $15 an hour right now. And if you do the math on that, that's less than $2,000 per month after taxes. So if you look at that, it comes out to be about $1,950 per month. And when you take away $1,500 for rent, you're left with $450 after rent to live on.
Take a look at this chart, Mitch, and tell me whether or not that this is perfect to explain exactly what we've been talking about. This came out from EconoFact right here. Is the forced out on in public place.
Hold on.
Janitor,
Here you go.
say things to me.
That's not bad. Remember this, the Supreme Court says cities can punish people for sleeping in public places.
I've been homeless for nearly 6 months now. Keep in mind, I'm sober, I work out every day, I don't bother anyone. And I just had a situation, and this has happened a couple times now in different ways, and it continues to be one of my biggest pet peeves because I was never this type of person. But people will say things to me and make different comments to me that they would never say if I wasn't currently homeless. But because they think that I'm basically down and out of life and not on their level, that now they can speak to me a certain type of way that never used to fly. And I was never the type of person. I've always treated a janitor with the same respect that I would a CEO. And so it's funny to me how many people will disrespect me because they think I'm not going to get out of this situation and that I'm not going to be way more successful than them.
Question.
Okay. See, that's the Delulu right there. I'm homeless. You cannot tell me nothing, and I'm going to be more successful than them, brother. I'm glad you get up and you go to the gym every day. That's great. Keep your health up. But let me show you. This is why I was trying to show you this chart. This is where I'm at. When I talk to people and they're saying, here's this tab, and that's the last thing we'll end at this. If you're homeless, this is the bottom of the triangle. Delivery driver, Uber, waitress, food related that pays you daily. That's where you are. You're in the I need to be paid daily. I need the app to disperse money so I can put gas in the car to get where I gotta go. He has the I'm mixed look to him, okay, and he's hard-headed. That's what he has to look to him, and that's why he's doing that content. Again, $1,500 for a one-bedroom apartment. No, that's not your apartment, baby. Your apartment is the $800 apartment across the rough side of town. Your place is the trailer park that's giving $800 rent. No, Erica, I don't want to live in the trailer park. I don't want to live in the rough side of town. I don't want to live off Skybo. I don't want to live off Runberg. I don't want to live in the hood. They get people shot up over there. That's where you are now. That's where you are. That's your level. Stop. Get for real. That's what the Delulu is. If you only make $1,900 a month, no, you're not gonna be able to afford that. He needs to rent a room and shut up. That's basically it. How do I rent a room? I go online right now here in my hometown. There's people renting rooms for $700. The crazy part is my aunt owns a house and her mortgage is $700. So I'm just, when you want to fight people about owning a home or getting a little cheap house somewhere, it's crazy. Okay. A boarding house, shared showers. How much is a weekly stay? $359 a week or $400 a week times 4 weeks is what? $1,600. It's the same you pay for rent. And the problem is people fall into the cycle. They never can save enough money to get the apartment because they're in the weekly stay. So people fall into the car. So okay, they're in the car. Now they're in the car. They're really just paying food and the gym membership to go to Planet Fitness and take a shower. Cool. How many paychecks do you need? That person needs to all day, every day be driving. Now I'm making YouTube videos, not doing other stuff. Every day driving, all day, all night driving, putting food, delivery, medical courier, something every day, all day. Then they can talk. Once they've had 2 months of that, where they're working these 12-hour shifts, and then on Sunday, maybe they take a little break. I take some mini break. Cool. I'll hear it from you. Next is an office job, a more stable job, but you still keep the part-time daily payout job. So you get your numbers right. And honestly, in this time frame, you're not paying your student loans. You're not paying nothing else. You're not paying nothing but your car bill if you have that and your car insurance. If it's that bad, nothing else get paid. Just those. Next is community college, roommates, and a trade. This is where when people argue with you about how they're going to be successful, and you're like, hey, baby, just get a trade. Just go drive trucks for 2 years. Just go do the military for 2-3 years. Just go do this. There's 3-year contracts. You can do it. And then go about your life. They get angry with you. How dare you? They're not ready to listen yet. They haven't hit rock bottom yet. Next is acquiring assets, home stability, or a trailer. Right? That's where the bottom 50% are really at. Right? They got to be at work all day and they got to drive Uber for at least 2 to 5 hours at night, then go to sleep in the parking lot by the gym. Zach, what I'm saying is you're not paying any bills. You're paying your phone, you're paying your car and your car insurance. That's it. If you've got that bottom where you're homeless, you're paying your $10 a month to Planet Fitness, right? $10 a month to Planet Fitness. You're paying your car bill, you're paying your phone, and that's it. And this is the common thing I see. You look able-bodied, You could be doing all kind of stuff, but they have a delulu in their head. I'm going to be famous and making it. I don't care, baby. What's the hierarchy of needs? Survival. Then da 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 da. Right. So this is what you're experiencing when you're online with people and they're trying to tell you how the whole United States is crashing. No, they're crashing because they're having a lot of pressure where they're not making money. They're crashing. But they don't want to take sound advice, which is what? Go get a trade, go in the military, go work a job, go do something basic. They want to come online and argue with you about why won't these women let me live with them? Like, get out of here, bro. They better go talk to AM1 about them skills and resources and get productive. That's it. That's what it is. This is where they at on this chart. That's why I keep showing you these charts like this, because they want to talk to me about, let me see if I can click it. They want to talk about this, becoming the bank and CDs and dividend stocks and reselling and digital courses and all this stuff. Babe, you got to get right here first. You got to get out of this part first. You got to just get to here first. Can we get the $500 or $700 a month room rental? Then we can get over here talking about this. Because you save $27 a day for a year, you got 10K. But they're not even here yet. So get here first. And that's what I have for y'all today. That's what I have for y'all today. They not in reality. They not. There you go. All right, you guys, it's your girl Erica Classic on Block. Thank you so much for being here again. The land grab course will be $97 until May 6th. May 6th, it goes to $497. Look forward to you guys in there. We're dropping more videos. We already have one in there today. Have 3 more coming this afternoon. Good luck, you guys. Good luck. Community college in my city just opened. House for free trade. There you go. The service agency need workers and pays well. It does. I know. I tried to have the same conversation. They don't want to hear it. Oh, yeah, they'll come ask for money. Just tell them when you enroll in school, I'll give you all the money you want. When you go enroll in the community college, I'll give you all you want. When you get a job, I'll help you all you want. Keep it pushing from there. Sorry, you guys. It's your girl, Erica Classic on Blog. Have a great day.